Welcome to the video lecture series of electronic devices. Today's topic is Ebers Moll Model. You are studying bipolar junction transistor, and in bipolar junction transistor you have studied that there are three terminals known as emitter, base and collector, and there are two types of transistors which are known as NPN and PNP. So any transistor which is NPN or PNP can be viewed as you are connecting two diodes back to back. So in today's lecture you are going to study about Ebers Moll model, where you have to derive the mathematical equations for emitter current, collector current and base current in terms of known variables. At the same time you have to design a model which is valid for all modes of operations. Let us begin. Ebers Moll model, it is an ideal model for a bipolar junction transistor, and this model can be used in all the four regions of operations, and these are active mode, inverse active mode, saturation mode and in cutoff mode. Whenever there is a requirement for analysis and simulation of any electronic circuit, it means we require some common set of equations via which we can relate the terminal voltages and currents, and it must be applicable, it must be derived for all modes of operations, and that particular model must have some parameters which must be relatively less in number and which can be easily extracted experimentally. So Ebers Moll model is one such type of classical model of a bipolar transistor. So here we are going to design this particular model. You can design it for NPN transistor or PNP. Let us draw a PNP transistor. In case of PNP transistor, you can visualize, as you must be aware that emitter and collector terminals are made from P-type semiconductors, while base is from N-type, and the base region is very thin in comparison to the emitter and collector. At the same time, the doping of base level is also very less in comparison to both the emitter and collector over here. Here you can observe there are two PN junction. One is denoted as JE, which is the emitter junction in between the emitter and base. Other is denoted as JC, which is the collector junction in between the base and the collector. IE is the emitter current, IC is the collector current and IB is the base current over here. Now you have to draw its equivalent model by understanding and assuming how two NPN diodes are connected back to back. Two PN junction diodes are connected back to back. So in this case you can observe first emitter junction is formed, the PN junction on the left hand side P and the right hand side N. So you can see the diode is being represented as left hand side is positive and bar is on the right hand side. Similarly for the another junction, which is the collector junction, on the left hand side N type bar is being shown, and on the right hand side P type semiconductor is available over here. And in the same diagram we have mentioned the direction of emitter current, collector current and the base current. At the same time you know the emitter current, this is equal to the collector current plus base current. IE is equal to IC plus IB. For this junction JE, which is the first junction, PN junction, the diode DE, this is being represented, and VEB is the voltage across this particular diode, voltage between emitter base junction, corresponding to DC, which is the diode which represents collector junction. Here the voltage is VCB, polarities have also been drawn over here. Now to understand this particular signal model in detail, let us start and understand in a manner. Suppose, and you know that IE is the emitter current, if IF is the current which flow from the emitter junction, so this current IF will also flow through the collector junction. Now this current IF which is also flowing through the collector junction, it can be represented as a current dependent current source. So in this particular case, see how it is being represented. It is represented by this particular value alpha f into IF, and this is a current dependent current source. Now let us assume that the BJT works in inverse region. In the earlier case where you have drawn here this ammeter junction, which is represented by JE, this is forward biased, and collector junction is reverse bias. But now when we are talking about the inverse region, now what will happen? Collector junction will be forward biased and ammeter junction will be reverse biased. If IR current flows through the collector junction, which is mentioned over here, now this current will also flow through the ammeter junction, and again you can represent the current which is flowing through the ammeter junction by a current dependent current source. Here the value which have been shown, which have been taken, that is what? Alpha R into IR. So this is how you can draw the directions and the current flowing through the other junction, how it is going to be represented by a current dependent current source. If you have to write down the mathematical equations over here, IE is what? Ammeter current. You can observe in this section number 1, what is ammeter current? You can write down this is IF minus alpha R into IR. In section number 2, here you can write down the collector current also. What is IC? You can observe IC is, see the direction of the current flowing. IC is flowing from the ammeter to the collector junction, means towards right. So IC is nothing but alpha F into IF minus of IR. So this is how you have written equation number 1 and 2. Now when you have to write down the term for the base current, see what is IB? You can observe the current entering into this particular terminal, which is what? IF plus IR. So this is IF plus IR, and current going out minus of alpha F into IF minus alpha R into IR. So from here you can write down this term as IF minus alpha R IR. Just you are rearranging the term minus second term alpha F into IF minus of IR. And from equation number 1 and 2, you can observe the first term is nothing but IE and second term is what? IC. So this is what the equation of IB, and you are aware with this particular equation as well. IB is, as you have written, IE is what? Sum of IC plus IB. So from here IB is what? IE minus IC, and this is what you have derived with the help of this equation number 1 and 2 and whatever the model you have drawn over here. So I hope now this particular point is clear to you. And here now we are assuming that the diodes are the ideal diode. When the diodes are ideal diode, you are aware with the diode current equation. What is the diode current equation? I is equal to I naught e raised to the power V upon eta Vt minus 1. Let us assume the value of eta as 1. So when the diodes are ideal, we can rearrange the equation number 1 and 2. Equation number 1 as given what? IF minus alpha R into IR. Now putting the diode current equation and evaluating this term, now what is IE? IF, which is what? IE naught, current which is flowing through the ammeter junction, e raised to the power V EB, voltage between ammeter base junction, upon Vt minus 1, and the second term is what? Alpha R into IC naught, because this is the current which is flowing through the collector junction, e raised to the power VCB, potential between or the voltage across collector base junction, upon Vt minus 1. Here IE naught and IC naught are the leakage current which is flowing through the ammeter junction and the collector junction. Accordingly, you can write down the equation of collector current by rearranging the terms over here. If you observe this equation number 3 and 4, now you have to derive, you have to simplify this particular equation because number of terms have been involved over there. So suppose we are talking about active mode of operation. So in active mode of operation, you know what is JE? JE, this junction JE means ammeter junction will be forward biased, collector junction will be reversed bias. Ammeter is junction forward bias, collector junction is reverse bias. VEB is positive and VCB is negative. Then the only transistor will work in active mode of. Now, if you rearrange this equation number 3 and 4, what would be the equation of IE? IE is nothing but the first term is IE naught e raised to the power VEB upon VT minus 1. Second term is alpha R into IC naught. See, here the exponential term is e raised to the power VCB upon eta VT. If you observe this particular term, this diode is in reverse bias. It means reverse saturation current will be, there will be a dip in the reverse saturation current, means there is a decrease in the reverse saturation current. So if there is a decrease, so minus of that sign and minus of the sign of the equation number 1, now it will be the positive term. Accordingly, you can write down the equation for IC. This is what? Alpha F into IE naught e raised to the power VEB upon VT minus 1. And the second term again, which is the reverse saturation current, and there is a dip. So minus of this particular, this is nothing but IC naught. If you observe both of these equations which you have written over here, so from here you can visualize this term alpha F IE naught or alpha R IC naught. This is what? This is nothing but the equal to the saturation current. So these terms we can equate alpha F into IE naught, which is equal to alpha R into IC naught, which is equal to IS. So from here you can write down IE naught is nothing but IS upon alpha F, and what is IC naught? IC naught is IS upon alpha R. So now we can rearrange the above equations by substituting the values of IE naught and IC naught in terms of IS, because our objective is to minimize the required number of parameters also, so that the required equations will be given in terms of known terms. So here if you rearrange the terms, or if you substitute the values of IE naught and IC naught in terms of IS, one parameter is being eliminated. At the same time, alpha gain is also being known to us. Now rewriting the equations, we will be getting IE is what? IS upon alpha F. See, you have substituted the value of IE naught only in terms of IS, and the second equation you are substituting the value of IC naught. So just you have rearranged the equations. In the equation number 5 and 6, you are observing these equations are in terms of alpha. At the same time, you know that the relationship between alpha and beta is what? Alpha is equal to beta upon 1 plus beta. So if you are writing alpha F, this is nothing but beta F upon 1 plus beta F. What is alpha R? This is beta R upon 1 plus beta R. You know the relationship between alpha and beta. Now what we can do? In equation number 5 and 6, you can substitute the value of alpha in terms of beta and you can simplify it. So after rearranging these equations in terms of beta, you will be getting the equation number 7 and 8 as ammeter current and collector current equation. Just you have substituted the values and you have rearranged the terms. At the same time, you know that IB is what? IE minus IC. So you can substitute the values of emitter current and collector current into this particular equation, and you can evaluate the equation for the base current, which is denoted as IB and is being written as a equation number 9. So here you can observe that you have taken a model of a PNP transistor, you have drawn its equivalent, and from that particular model you have derived the equations of emitter current, collector current and base current. And all these three equations, equation number 7, 8 and 9, these equations are in terms of what? VEB, VCB, which is the voltage across emitter base junction, voltage across collector base junction, known terms. IS, saturation current, beta, the gain, beta F and beta R. So this is how you can draw the equivalent model and you can derive the mathematical equations via which any model can be represented and its analysis can be done very accurately. Thank you so much for watching this video.